for a long time, and I just have I don't have an explanation for y'all. I just haven't been here. But I wanted to make a video today to tell you guys about a procedure that I'm going to be going through in these next 2 weeks, which is egg donation. And I sat here and I pulled up the definition, well, what Wikipedia has as the definition of it, so that if you don't know what egg donation is, basically this is the definition on Wikipedia. Egg donation is the process by which a woman donates eggs to enable another woman to conceive as part of an assisted reproduction treatment, or it can be for research. But so what my nurse told me, which is the lady that's helping me through this whole thing, is basically when you're having your cycle, more than one egg tries to mature. So like say that like 5 to 6 eggs try to mature, but only one make it and reach full maturity, and that's the one that drops down and is fertilized by the sperm. So when egg donation comes into play, they give you medicine to stimulate and mature all of those eggs that would have matured, that would have tried to mature anyways in your cycle. So I know the biggest question that I had when I went there was, since I'm donating my eggs and you're saying you're going to take all of these eggs, am I going to have any left over for me? So basically she explained it to me like, by the time you hit puberty and the time that you're ready to have kids, you have hundreds of thousands of eggs left over. And so basically no, like they're not taking all of my eggs away. They're basically only taking the eggs that would have tried to mature anyways, and if they didn't reach full maturity, like they would have died off. So they're just taking those eggs that would have tried to anyways. They're not taking all of my hundreds of thousands. When I found this, I just was like, you know, I want to help somebody be able to have kids, and I want to help them do that next step. And when I researched more about the egg donation process, it's something that I just felt like I could do, and I wanted to learn more about. And then when I applied and sent my application, it's just like it all just happened really quickly, and I just like, okay, let's do it, you know. So this has been like a 4 to 5 month thing that I've been going through up at this point. So basically what you do first is you go and you apply at like a clinic or whatever place that is close to you. So I basically just typed in egg donation in Minnesota. I don't live in Minnesota, but for example, I typed in egg donation in Minnesota, and I found the clinic that was closest to me. And so I went on their website and I put in an application, and it asks you a lot of questions, you guys, like hella questions. So it asks you about, you know, your family history, medical history, if you've ever done drugs, if you've ever had sex for money. Like it's like an 80 question application. And then after that, they also ask you to put pictures from when you were a child up until now, because obviously the intended parents want to find somebody that can kind of look like them and have their genetic makeup somewhat. So they ask you to put these pictures in so that those intended parents can decide from your profile if that's the eggs that they want to use. So after I did that, I think the application process started, and they emailed me within like the end of the week saying that my application was approved and that I could go, you know, that they would put my application into the database for families to look at me. So I think I waited almost like a month before I heard anything back. And then when I did hear something back, the nurse emailed me and was like, you got approved to donate to the egg bank. And I'm like, okay, you know, she was just asking like, are you still wanting to do it? And I'm like, yeah, of course. So after she said all that, I got a appointment to go to the actual clinic. So when I went to the clinic, they took my blood, and then they did an ultrasound. They wanted me to wait till I was on my period to do an ultrasound to see like how many follicles I had, which is what holds your eggs, and how many eggs were in each follicle. And basically why they take your blood is to send your blood off to this genetic testing lab, which checks your blood to see if you have any possibilities of disease like muscular dystrophy, sickle cell, all of these types of things. It was like, I think it was like 76 diseases that they tested my blood for, which is cool because these tests are expensive. So when I'm going through this process, I get those tests for free. So that means, like, that's another positive of donating your eggs. You get all of these perks and you get to learn more about your fertility and your health in general. That is cool, and you get all that for free because you're donating your eggs to someone. So after that, I was waiting. I waited another 4 weeks, almost another month, before I heard anything back. Let me rewind. After that appointment, we also booked my appointment to meet with a psychiatrist, which basically is a meeting that they have to make sure that you are understanding what you're getting yourself into and what you're signing up for, and if you're really prepared to go through this emotional thing. And I didn't think it was that serious, like that I needed to meet with a psychiatrist, but honestly, when I met with her, she taught me a lot of things that I didn't even think about. Like, one question that she asked me was, will you tell your kids about your egg donation? I'm like, no, like, what do they need to know for? You know, if it ever comes up in conversation and they ask about this, or my child is thinking about it, then I'll share my experience. But I don't feel like I would just come out of the woodworks and be like, yeah, kids, I donated my eggs. Like, okay. And she was like, yeah, I feel like you would say that because a lot of people say that. But the reason I'm asking you is because, say that somebody in your state uses your eggs, and then the time that you have kids, and then they fertilize your eggs, your kid and then your half child could be growing up together, and then they meet, and you know, like, say that your daughter meets this guy and brings him home, and then she brings him home, and you're kind of looking at him like, you really look like me or my dad. And then you have to explain to her, like, oh, that might be your half brother. And I'm like, I didn't even think about it that way. But now that you say that, you're right. I need to tell them kids. Like, so, I mean, it's a lot of things that you learn in that psychiatrist appointment. It's not really to see if you're crazy. She did ask a lot of questions about my childhood, how my childhood was, if any of my family members have mental issues, and like, have they ever been hospitalized for mental issues and things. That appointment was like an eye-opener for the whole process, and they do that to make sure you know everything, the good, the bad, everything, so you can make an informed decision on if you really want to donate your eggs. And after that appointment, it kind of made me want to donate more, because I see like how important this is to some people. So after that appointment, like I said, I was waiting on those results to come back, and also my results from my blood test to come back. So I was waiting almost a month, and I kind of felt like, oh shoot, maybe I didn't do good at my psychiatry appointment. Maybe I'm crazy as hell. Maybe, you know, something went wrong with the psychiatry appointment, and like that, I just felt like I didn't get it after that because I didn't hear anything back. So a month later, which would have been December, she messaged me and was like, you know, the egg bank approved your process, everything came back good. Would you like to move forward to get set up in a donation in January? And I'm like, yeah, you know, like, okay, yeah, let's do it. So after that appointment, I mean, after all of that came back, what happened next? She sent me birth control because they want you to start synchronizing your cycle so that they can plan out the retrieval. So she started me on birth control. I was on birth control through the whole month, through Christmas. And then I had an appointment on January 11th for a class, which is what they, where they teach you how to mix the medications, like the injections that you're gonna do. And they also, that's when you do your paperwork and everything. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just started my injections Saturday. I took my second one yesterday, and I'll be taking them up until the 23rd. The 24th, I go back for a monitoring appointment, which is where they'll see how mature my eggs have gotten. And then they're supposed to give me more medicine and the trigger shot, which basically is the last shot that they give you to get your eggs up to full maturity so that they can do the retrieval process. How have the injections been? Honestly, the first one wasn't too bad. But the second one, which we did last night, I let my boyfriend do it. And I think you're supposed to do it like 2 inches away from your belly button. And I don't think we got exactly 2 inches away, because when we shot it, blood came out. And it just hurt really bad. Like, the whole shot just hurt. And I still feel it at this point. Like, it hurts. Versus the one we did Saturday, I can't feel it if I touch it, but I can feel this one. So I don't think we did it in the right spot. So I'm hoping that when we go in on the 24th, or when I go in on the 24th, that everything is moving like it should. We'll see. But I am going to insert some videos of me taking an injection. I just kind of wanted to make this video because I didn't see, when I researched about this, I didn't see a lot of black women on YouTube talking about this process. And it's like, I don't know if black people or black women in general don't know about it, or, you know, like, aren't informed enough about it, or whatever it is. But I just wanted to, like, make this video so there are more of us informed and learning about the process, because infertility in black women is becoming a thing. There's diseases that people catch, STDs, all these things that can cause you to be infertile. So there are that need for more black donors because of the fact that there are more women becoming infertile. It's not just a other race thing. Like, we are becoming more infertile too. So it's important that there are women out there that are donating so that women can have a chance to have kids. Like, and I'm not saying that you have to do this or trying to make you do this, but if it's something that you're interested in, and I feel like if you're researching about this at this point, you should know more about it and do your research about it before you get yourself into it, because this is not something you just do for money. Like, these injections, these needles, honey, like, no. And having to miss these classes for this, like, this isn't something you just do for some change. This is something you have to be serious about and be dedicated to. So that's just really the gist of it so far. If you guys have any questions at this point about it, let me know. I can answer your questions as best as I can, because like I said, I'm still learning too as we go on. Clearly I can't even do the injections right. So I mean, like, if you have questions about anything, let me know. Yeah, I hope that this video was kind of informative. And I will be getting back in touch with you guys at the end of the week or next week to let you guys know what's going on, and hopefully I can get the retrieval recorded, the before and after, so you guys can see that. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next one.